signals off. And this is Alive with you and me. Alive. We be alive. We be jamming. We be toys. Um, we're also on Facebook and YouTube, I believe. We're doing a like that. If you're unable to go visual, my team as well. It'd be great to just do the platform like Facebook or YouTube. All right, let's do some agreements. This is what it takes. How many, let's do a little share. How many have noticed that this can go really deep, really fast? How many even, I like it. I promised to tell the whole truth and not, anyway, that was all, it looks really good. Me too. And so whenever I do a class in person, which has been, I think I've done those before I've been staying home. I would make sure that everybody's playing 125%, fully completely present. That's just what I do. And somehow when everyone knows that I'm right there, we're interacting, people either tend to play 125 or tend to go, I'm terrified, but even that's playing 125, whatever's true. So when we're together here, I can see your faces. I love that. I can love when I can see your faces. Jackie left for just a second, but this is the real Jackie that showed back up. Thanks for joining us, Cynthia. And go visual, everyone, please go visual. So that this thing about being fully present, can you imagine someone does a little something and I, whatever, translate it, and it wasn't embarrassing. It wasn't limiting. It was actually some amazing blessing being signaled for the facilitator to ask the question for the individual to remember and agree with some blessing that maybe in the past they didn't agree to. Maybe their lineage didn't agree to. Really, really, that's how big this whole thing is. And so when I ask everyone, and whichever platform you're on, if you're on Zoom, great. If you're on Facebook, great, do it while we're live. And even if you're watching the recording, do it as well, because we're still energetically all right here. I mean, truly, how many have watched one of these types of things and gotten your life out of the deal and it was recorded? Well, it's energetically still here. So by playing 125, 125% more than we ever have, moment to moment to moment, we're already in the lap of grace. That's what grace takes. That's how I got all this stuff, as I played 125. I've been playing 125 as a kid. I saw movies of myself as a kid. I went ADD, ADHD. I mean, it's whacked, man, full on. Hello. I mean, anyway, no wonder my mom drank. Mm-hmm. All right. So, and that's not an excuse, or maybe it is. Anyway, I got it. So play 125, be fully and completely present while we're sitting here, vote victory, and vote your own first. For me, you do your own version, I do mine. I am my own. I am that I am. I am God in action. I am my own permanent victory in the light. I love that. I am my own permanent victory in the light. I am our permanent victory in the light. Who's ever speaking, I am your permanent victory in the light. So frequently I may say, let's vote their victory, because what's coming up may have things attached to it where the individual already went downscale and now coming back up. We heal from the inside out, from the head down, in reverse order as the symptoms have appeared, tempered by moving from less intensity into greater and greater intensity according to our preparedness, psychological, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, etc. So this is such a big deal, to return to a state of grace, experience, abundance, prosperity, health, happiness, whatever it is, that we didn't even believe was possible. Weren't even aware that we didn't believe was possible. How many get that idea? And so again, as we sit here, and thank you, by the way, for voting victory. Thank you for playing. Thank you for coming on frequently, each of you. I mean that, because you're representing something, many frequencies. We all I'm a particular frequency. That's why other people that share this might do really well with other people. And I do my version of it. Most people that are really shy are going, I don't think so. Being with me, I mean, serious. I mean, like, being with Bob is like drinking from a fire hose. Has anybody ever attempted to drink from even a really strong hose? All right. So, and many people could you like just slow it down? No. I mean, yes, I can with love. I can do all that. And our emotional body, vote victory, see perfection, play 125. What's happening is we're starting to speed up or remember the velocity of love? How many know cosmic love, divine love, anointed love, I'll use all those words for now, is a frequency. It's just, I don't mean it's faster or slower, even though maybe vibrationally it's moving at a faster rate. So for me, as a coach, and those that have been trained in this, we're seeing things differently. We're seeing more information, inner formation. What I'm sharing in the Alive video log is a way for people to get a sampling of what's here, what's available, what's being returned. So individuals can, you know, in an easy way, joining at 9 a.m. Eastern, Tuesdays and Thursdays, get an idea of what's available. Then what we've got coming up is next Saturday, not this one, but we moved it next Saturday for 3 Saturdays in a row. We have Sacred Body Language Translation, 3 hour. I'll just speak for myself, did a revamp on the investment of it to make it easier, because I mean, anybody go to the gas station like me? Right? How many know what I'm talking about? I mean, if they have a Taco Bell right next to it, you might go opt for that gas. All right, so yeah, Taco Bell, yes, I thought I shared that. All right, so now we brought the price way down 3 Saturdays in a row, not this Saturday. We moved it to the next March 26th, next 3 Saturdays. And so Sacred Body Language, Biooptic Holography, and Life Upgrade Coaching. Here's what I'm going to be doing then, is I'm going to show people in 3 hours I'll just do the body language one. They're like conversational language. And when we went and I saw her and I choose this, and it's not a lot of signals that most people are doing. So what I do in these 3 hours is help. I mean, I've been doing this for years, help people get automatic conscious, where they know they don't have to go, what is that one? What page was that on? And of course, if you've got the searchable version, it's going to help you. Elbow. How many like, you just elbow, you type that in. There's elbow. Awesome. Thank you very much. It gives you all the pages that the ear. What? Ear. What? All right. So, you know, we can do that kind of stuff. Fingernails. How many know that fingernails all in the book? Your spine, vertebrae, all your teeth are in the book. So that's the searchable version. Well, most people are not going on their spine. How many get that? They're usually just, in other words, where the body language is a spirit communication between individuals, where the conscious mind, usually of everyone, doesn't have a clue. Now think about this. We are telling everybody what's going on in our life. We're going, oh yeah, I went to the movie last night. It was really good. You know, I got some popcorn. That wasn't really good. Well, our bodies are telling each other the whole story of life. Why is that going on? I mean, if you can just dial out a bit, go on up into the heavenly realm, God's here, communicating straight up, zero question, zero filter, full on, always telling the truth through everything, nature, whatever's going on, through our words. God's listening to every word. I can't, okay. I'm going to get, if I say I can't, my subconscious says, okay. I don't know. My subconscious says, okay. You're a prick. My subconscious says, okay. I'm going to, come on, how many have ever gone, oh, they're really going to be for me. They don't like me. Then if that person isn't anointed or aware or cosmically conscious, they can go, I don't like you because you said, I don't think you like me. So how many get, well, that's the language portion. As we think in our heart, so are we. Decree a thing and it shall be established unto you. By your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned. A man or woman who offendeth not in word, the same as a perfect person and able to bridle the whole body. That right now for this Rice-A-Rona thing is what everybody ought to be aware of. Like, do not use the Lord or I am's name in vain. I is I am, can't is using I am's name in vain. I want, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Now, our body stores, our temple stores every deviation from truth, every deviation from I am that I am in a cellular memory frequency. So how many know I mean, I could go into this in more scripture, but the point is, how many get, oh, I'm kind of glad, I think, that my body stores my limitations so I don't have to go find it somewhere. I'm walking around with it. How many are glad you're walking around? How many are going, well, kind of, I mean, maybe not so much. I mean, you know, whatever. But anyway, how many are glad that you have a way to reverse the curse? Anyone? So body language is saying, first, here's where I am. If I come in and I say it was a great day, I just said to somebody, no, it wasn't that great, or it was great, and yes and no. Most of us don't pick that up. I do. How many are getting it? I'd like to know what I'm getting. I'd like to know what I'm saying. Anyone else? How many like to know when you're congruent or aligned? Yes, me too. So now when body language came into my awareness, and it was one thing, and then the next, and the next, and the next, and the next, until the whole thing unfolded, I had to test it big time because it wasn't willing to get snookered by myself. So I tested the whole thing. And I mean, for a whole year, I tested bioopticalography, and I would always ask 1 degree off on the eye, 1 degree off on the, and then I'd ask the third question. I did that for a whole year. I was willing to be wrong minimum 3 times, or 2 times anyway. And then I would ask what, because I was afraid people were literally just saying, yes, oh, yes, oh, yeah. I was terrified. It was like, man, oh, gosh, that would be false prophet time, big time. So for 1 whole year, I tested it. So now you get something is right here, languaging. How many know? I choose, I claim, I can, I am, I will, I choose, I have, I love, I great enjoy, things like that. And then the more specific we are, the more instantaneous the manifestation. Got it? And then our temple records genetic and experiential limitations that we've agreed to. And God's tractor beaming us up, raising the frequency. That's what's going on the planet. It's not really going down, it's going upscale, and all this stuff that's been hidden is being exposed. Now, for me, my request is we find the team of individuals who are committed personally to be true, honest, their great self. And only you can do that. I can't even tell you what that is. In the system, this system, I mean, with all my coaches that I've trained over all these years, I literally, if I can do this, if I'm on, I can, I'll fall off sometimes. Cancel clear. In the past, I've furball fallen off. My emotional body's going, you better not say that. In the past, I may have coached without permission. Cynthia, how many have ever coached without permission? I can always coach and then please forgive me. Got it. Only in this system, when it's pure, that I like that. When I'm purely doing it, I'm asking them questions. I'm not telling them anything. I mean, like the idea of not saying, well, basically, I think that what's going on for you, I don't even know, puke or whatever. When somebody goes, do you have this going on? That has me access me. And when I go, oh, yes, well, now, first of all, I realize that person had they must know something. How many know that? How many love the idea of when somebody asks a question and it lands in me? Or if that question, how about this? How about that? Oh, that's the one. How many? I mean, for me, I got at least as many questions as is required to figure out what's going on. I've been able to do that. That's another thing we're going to do on the next Saturday, not this coming, but next, 26th, is teach people how to ask questions. How many choose to be masterful at asking yourself a question? I do. I mean, I'm getting better at it. It's easy to ask everyone else. I'm not like vested. I'm voting victory. I'm seeing perfection. If they have an issue up, I can see right through it. They might not know that, but I know a sense of what it is. Our greatest weakness should be our greatest strength. So I know it's a strength knocking on their door. When it's personal, it's like, really? This is a strength? Are you sure? I mean, because I don't feel strong about cancel now. So now this thing of playing 125, be full and completely present, see perfection, vote victory, all that is for us. Because if I vote victory, I'm keeping my own and I'm amplifying, helping someone else. So let's talk a little, we're 14 minutes in. Share a little bit about what you're starting to realize is required for you to wake up your spiritual communion through body language. Mike yourself and wave. We're going to keep this short, fast, fun, and sweet. Who else? That was number one. All right, Charles.
Stop the mind chatter, the internal mind chatter. And to do that, what I do is I settle down first from here, and then I go up, And then it's blank,
Cool. How about present instead of blank?
present, correct.
I mean, yeah, because how many would prefer to be fully present? I mean,
Yes,
how many have seen a sunset? How many know you're not blank?
yes, okay, yes.
How many get that? How many have seen a baby? How many been at a birth? I've been at many births. How many know you're not blank? And yet you're not going, well, basically, I wonder how that baby was created. I'm like, no, you're right. So that's fine. Thank you, Charles. Anyone else? What are you realizing is required? Go ahead, Victoria.
Realize is the key word for me. My great self is manifesting and showing signals through me I am in my little eyes not aware of. The realization that that I am manifesting the greatest parts of me to be discovered, rediscovered, realigned, and revisioned. That word is such a key word for me. I am in the body of the Most High God, the temple of the Most High God. And the realization is a greater insight into me and what I am upgrading moment to moment to moment.
Cool. And I remind you to say my temple or my body.
My temple, my
Yeah, and and not wrong. I'm just saying this is part of what we bring to the table is when a person describes it out there, I said, bring it in. Have ownership. Good. Anyone else? What is it? What does it take? Go ahead, Cynthia.
When you said our limitations are in our body, when I first heard that, I was like, oh, wait, no, I don't want my limitations in my body. And I know I just said I don't want, and I thought to myself, oh, yes, I do. Because now I can recognize them and upgrade them. My first response was just, oh, no, that's just not going to work.
Yeah.
And yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And yes, now, oh, I welcome them and I watch my signals. I ask myself questions and I
Oh,
can
wow.
upgrade them one at a time, two at a time, three at a time. Yes. So thank you.
Awesome. And Charles, mute yourself, would you? Got it. Thank you. All right. So then what I'm going to share with you is me too, by the way, only I didn't learn it in this way. I started to, by interacting with it myself and others, I started to go, that's how much our God loves us. By letting us have right here, right now, every limitation. And that, again, once you learn to see it in the eye, which is the second of the three, I mean, how cool that we can see it instead of having to dig it out and scratch it away or whatever. How cool is that? And then the third level, life upgrade coaching, where you put it all together. And I will demonstrate in that one where I ask a question. And even before the person answers, we get so much video on this for those that really choose to master it. The first time I shared it, life upgrade coaching, the person would go up. It's funny. My throat is going, oh, yeah. Fur ball. Or the person would go up, maybe sit down, or maybe not even sit down. And I go, I got it. Meaning I already know and they're going, I haven't said a word. Well, you haven't physically out loud, verbally, vibrationally spoken, but your body gave a whole bunch of signals. Are you this, and this? They're going, I mean, why? And not wrong. We're not digging this stuff out. I will. We're not digging this stuff out to judge them. We're here. Their body is going, yo, coach, yo, facilitator, get the message to them now. No, do you get our spirits been going, yo, 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 yo? How many have been our life screaming at us? We're going, and repeating patterns are like coming back to go, look, you could upgrade right now. You could forgive for no reason. You could, I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay, I feel, and be made new by creating and walking new. That's what our body language is saying. Just do this and then come here. So again, the static state is not moving. Not wrong, it's just not moving. And like my shoulder, when I did that, those heard that. When I did my shoulder, I didn't even get that I was using, because it was so intense. I was using essential oils, 4 different ones all night long, 4 segments at a pain level of 6 to 10 to manage my pain. Never. And when I just said, when I was sharing a class, I'm using, deep relief I'm going to use that one because that's what I started with each night, to relieve the pain. And that's why I love the names of these things. Deep Re-Life. Like believe it means to be alive in. Relieve means to relife. So the minute I even asked out loud in class, whatever, in the Zoom room, and I said, oh, I'm restoring my blessings on my mom's side. And at first it was, nope, I had not a clue. That's when you know you're right on. How many get, oh, then I can know I'm right on? Anyone? How many love that, oh, it's, and I have to know ahead of time, I'm going to discover, uncover. I have ways you know not of, they're beyond finding out. Well, couldn't I know I had a little bit at a time? Just a little bit, a lot, just a little bit, a lot, da, 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 da. How many go, I will move upscale if I know what to do? The universe is going, that's not the way it works. I wish it did work that way. Well, that's what wishing will get you. You mean I'm going to have absolute faith and trust? Silence when I ask that question, oh my God. Silence, like you're going to have to answer that, buddy. And it's like, well, I'd like 90%. How many like to jump rooftops 90% of the way? No, you go all the way. And hopefully you don't go off the other side because you got so much adrenaline. This is what we did as kids. So again, do you get what's going on here is the exact issue waiting for agreement. Anyone? So now, what does it take to do this? I know how many have to gear up to come on? How many have to do that? How many are doing that? I'll take the have to off. How many are gearing up going, okay, this is going to be intense? How many have sat there doing something and I happen to notice it and how many are going, don't move? How many have done the don't move thing? How many have had your hands down here? I mean, but how many you're doing something? Do you and the little self is usually going, uh-oh. The shame, blame, guilt, right, wrong, good, bad. How many get that? All right. So what does it take to do this? Who else? Mic yourself and wave. Come on, you can do it. We can help Home Depot. Go ahead, Sherry.
So this is all brand new to me. So I've been on these sessions, gosh, I guess since you first started. I missed the first one and then jumped on board. And I just feel like you're talking my language. I don't understand it. It feels like it's resonating. And I choose to know. I choose to know and understand it and embrace it. So I wake up at 5 o'clock my time to be ready for 6 o'clock because I'm so excited. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And notice, I'm going to share just a little bit about what you just said. I feel like, now, not wrong, so please know I'm not doing it that way at all. I feel like we now know, I feel like is not a feeling, it's not right or wrong. Those are the 3 words of codependence. So in the system, we now know your being is going, I'm moving into co-empowerment.
Good.
And do you like that idea of being co-empowered versus codependent?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm going to vote her victory. Only first vote yours. Next of all, let's see. I don't know. How about I'm starting to remember?
I am starting to remember. Yes.
And how many get the power of that? I am starting to remember. So me too. I sometimes say it one way and go, no, I'm going to come back, not make it wrong, and give myself my full authority. So how many get what I'm demonstrating is already true in us? It's not something we're actually learning. It's something we're remembering. If it's true, it's already in us.
Yes.
So anyway, thank you for getting up early, my dear. I appreciate it. And also for doing all the, anyway. Yep, good. Thank you. Who else? What's this take to do it? Go ahead, Roseanne.
Yeah. Takes a lot of courage. Yeah, I'm just beginning. I got up at 5 like Sherry did, and kind of like I'm trying to keep my eyes open. But yeah, I was on just a couple times ago, and you talked about my eyes blinking. So I've been working on I Am Secure. So then I went through the book, and I found all the blends that had secure attached with it. So I started using a couple of those blends.
Good. And remember, use them while you're giving decrees, because the essential oil clears the way. My mentor, Marion Jager, back when I was back in the 70s, would say it anesthetizes the intellect. Yeah, but I get why she said it that way. I agree with it. But how many love the idea that it transcends any limitation? There's no filter that can stop. That's where the oil comes in. So for me, as we begin to use pure essential oils and the way we're using them, we're not using them like, again, deep relief for me. I was using it to get rid of pain. The minute I said I'm restoring my blessing, Mom's side, I even just asked the question of, wow, I didn't go answer it yet. I'm still in the middle of answering it. It's such a big thing for me. Only immediately my pain let go after a year and a half, because I listened and responded. So as you go, I'm secure. And then you might say, I'm secure, add who, what, when, where, how, in what way, shape, or form, seeing what. That's where all 7 steps are really helpful, dear. And anyway, and courage. I'm going to get, this is the age of Kerr. Kerr age? No, just kidding. All right. So how many love that? How many, like when the guy walking along in scripture, the guy who's walking along the path, and a big 15-foot blazing, terrifying angel shows up on the path and goes, fear not.
Mhm.
How many are going, well, okay. But do you get, let's not serve fear. If you're going to fear anything, fear the Lord. How many get the law? Why? Because you're only going to get love if you fear the Lord or law. So how many like the idea of it takes courage? I reclaim, I'm secure, I'm courageous, I'm confident, I trust, that kind of stuff. So the more we can build all that, awesome. And the very fact he went through and found those that are about secure, and then you'll find 1 or 2 that are like home run for you. But
Mhm.
again, now that you use them, what happens now that you're secure?
I could start loving myself then.
I can.
I love myself.
Yes. Now that's where the languaging comes in. How many heard the
Okay.
I can? How many know you could have 18 years ago?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's latent potential. So I'm saying I love myself.
I love myself.
Now her throat. Everybody hear that? That's the choice going on. The old self and the new self having an interaction and a meeting in the throat. I call it verbal. Anyway, but now you say it until you can feel the meaning in each word deeply enough. So what's it like now that you love yourself?
I'm relaxed now.
Yeah. Good. And now that you've been relaxed for 3 years, what's new and different for you?
I'm more outgoing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interacting with more people. I'm letting my light shine.
Now, the beautiful thing about our subconscious is there's no space or time to our subconscious. So what you just said in 3 years, and notice her sit up and drac, and here's what I'm doing. How many love that? It was automatic. It wasn't thought. It didn't run through the filter. Got it? Her subconscious heard that as right now. Or even better, already done. So how many love this is the way this works, that the individual walks new. And you did it, Roseanne. Thank you. And were you excited about using your courage to become made new in public?
Yes, starting to overflow.
Now she's rocking it. This is where, do y'all start outcome mapping once you learn and really jump into that? I overflow. And then with what, how, in what way, and the result of that. Cool. Thank you, dear. Thank you. That was beautiful.
You're welcome, Bob.
Yeah, awesome. Anyone else? What's this tape? Yes, Cynthia.
I love what Roseanne said about the book. I've used the book so many different ways. And what you said today is a brand new way. Going through the decrees and finding going through the oils, I believe is what you said, and finding all the places where secure was listed and finding those oils. That's beautiful. Thank you for that.
Yep, I agree. So what's this take, Cynthia, since the first class you did with me in person, you sat on your hands?
I sat on my hands. My face just itched, my body itched. And yes, it takes courage, Roseanne. And I watched my husband get a huge miracle out of the deal. It was a miracle for both of us. Absolutely. And I jumped in, and going back to what Sherry said, after the first hour or two, when we had our first recess, even though I was sitting on my hands, my heart knew. Bob was speaking my language. I went up to him after the meeting, and I remember clearly what I said. I shook hands with him for the very first time, told him who I was, and I said, I am the one. I don't even know what that means, and I don't even know what I'm saying, and my heart knows I am the one. And I've just enjoyed my ride the last 5 years. It's beautiful.
Awesome. It takes
Yes.
courage. How many love, but
Yes.
courage like it. And war is terrible. This ain't war. How many get this is grace? How many like again, velocity of love? I choose to make this fun and easy, and we take the charge off. One thing I wrote down about what we're doing is there's the system. Hello. The system is in step one, take the charge off. Let it be okay. How many have had an issue that you're going, all right, I'm going to take the charge off now. I'm forgiving you, issue that my whole lineage has had for eons of time. I'm forgiving you for no reason. I'm forgiving you just because I forgive you. Love is forgiving and giving and giving and giving. And so do you get when I first heard Patricia's son do that when I was 27 years old, I started, I mean, I said back then, I woke up to what forgiveness was. I didn't have a clue what forgiveness was. I thought it was whatever, but love is forgiving. She pauses and giving and giving. And I went, oh, I mean, started to go, oh, wow. So again, step one, I love a touch, a breathe, a stay, I feel, yo pain, yo anger. It's okay. I love you. Come and sit at my table, maybe way over there. And when we touch anything with love, love wins. When we touch anything with love, love is our source code. When we touch anything with love, we don't love it like I'm going to go do it. We don't. If you have anger, you touch it with love. You don't have to lovingly be angry at people. How many get that? You don't have to act anything out. Anyone that works with me, it's like they may come up with anger. You better touch it with love instead of act it out. Don't do it. Not good with me around, because I will not let that happen. You'd be gone. You'd be out the room if you act out anger. But if you go, I feel anger, cool. Yo, anger. I love you. I touch and I stay. I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay, I feel. Those 5 things renegotiate us back into our being, into our temple, into our body. Now imagine the static state, and like my shoulder. I'll use my own example. So for, again, year and a half, it was so far back at this point, it's like, I'll still use it. So, I sold my bed, log bed, beautiful. I live in a log home, beautiful home. I sold my log bed because I couldn't sleep and I couldn't lay down because my shoulder couldn't find any way to do it. I slept in a chair, a recliner. And even in a recliner, it would cancel. I don't want to build that too much, but I had pain. So I would use, deep relief and, all the other stuff in one. CBD was the last one because I hoped I could get some sleep at that point, roll on, calm. So what happened for me when I was doing, after we already wrote the book, built the book, it's being, I think we're in pre-launch at that point, but it's being printed and it was complete. And I somehow, by grace is really, I heard, or we were talking, but then I went, dude, how many ever have, or dudette? I mean, how many know that depending on your gender, God talks to us like dude or dudette? I believe that's true. If you're transgender, I'm not sure what that sounds like. Doodalini, I choose to know. But anyway, forgive me. All right. So, dude, you're using, I could see it, a year and a half of using right on my shoulder. I mean, literally, I would, if they went out, something was deep relief wasn't available, I panicked. Oh my gosh, what? And then some of the others, because wintergreen was an issue. And wintergreen is for fear, and Marion Jager's system. Take a look at that in the book. And again, that's why, Raven. I mean, how many know some of these things are amazing when you put peppermint and wintergreen together? You have a vasoconstrictor and a dilator. Hello. So it opens and closes. Hello. Anyway, there's a lot here. So all I did was go, dude, again, God speaking to me in my own vernacular, you're using oils allopathically to get rid of pain. Oh, now again, I've been doing this. I'm the best at it that I know of, like times a bazillion. And I'm sitting for a year and a half struggling with that pain. I didn't want to own it. Who knows? I might have, whatever. And I went, oh, I'm restoring my blessings. What? And my mind didn't have any clue at all what that meant. I restore my blessings, feminine, left shoulder, mom's side. It was in the front and out here. So it's going to be self and maybe others and doing. Just contemplating that, I kept doing the class and was at probably a 7 as far as pain in my shoulder at that point. Within the 5 minutes of just going, what's returning? Got it? I'm not putting any oils on. I've already put them on. I just went, what's return? I restore my blessings on my mom's side and started to contemplate that or open up to that. You all hear, you don't have to know everything right away. I opened up to the idea that I could restore through my mother's divine lineage, the feminine, creative, intuitive purity of divine mother, so to speak, through my DNA. My mom's no longer on the planet. So however all that works. And within 5 minutes, my shoulder pain became comfort. I didn't say my pain went away. My comfort came online. Now, what if that's exactly the way it works across the board? When I worked with Dr. Charnel, who had the cellular degeneration, read her eyes in class for bioopticalography, I found 4 death wishes. We've got all this videoed a number of times. She shared it. And I said, have you ever not wanted to be here 4 times? And she goes, she didn't say it then, but if you knew what I was doing, you wouldn't ask me that question. She said it later when she shared. So when I got done, I went over and I said, Charnel, just say I can't. I knew she was battling something of cellular degeneration. Charnel, just say I can and I am. The cellular degeneration is I've got to, compulsion, can't. I've got to, can't. I've got to, which is a runaway tissue growth, like placenta type growth. Got it? So just say, Charnel, just say I can and I am. And when she tells a story, she goes, and I knew some of that. I can and I am, like, whatever. Say it again. I can and I am. I can and I am, like words. She said this later. Words are going to do it. Now she's already done 4 months of preparing the soil, doing everything, sometimes 16, maybe more a day, doing everything right with all kinds of, all the stuff you can imagine perfectly. She just hadn't yet reversed the curse. She hadn't walked new. So I said, and again, I just said, say it again, I can and I am. The 3rd time in, I finally said, now, Charnel, she'd been trained. Put your me into it. Feel the meaning in each word deeply enough. She goes, oh, she got it. I can and I am. Say it again. I can and I am. Say it again. I can and I am. Say it again. She said it maybe 5 more times, 4, 5, 6, whatever it was. And I'll be right back. I got to go to the bathroom. Cool. Comes back 5 minutes later. You're not going to believe this. Yes, I will. I'm in the bathroom. I pass all this stuff. I made a poop joke. She says, that's not the end it came out of. I didn't know what she was dealing with. All the came out. She looked in her eye. She had her light, so she magnifier, so she lit her eye and looked in the eye. And every one of the blue spots, which is an old memory of I don't want to be here, which had an indicating line coming in directly into that spot, hooked back. All 4 of them. She had looked in my eyes. And I looked back and she had healing hooks, they're called shepherd staff, on every one of those 4 old memories of I don't want to be here. She went back to all 4 physicians, completely clear. Now, it wasn't a really long set of decrees. It was one person making sure that individual I'm facilitating. She had already prepared the soil. She had already raised her frequency. I mean, that's really important, kids. Have the terrain, and the mind is senior over the body, and then eventually the body is senior over the mind. So we might say, I choose, the body goes, no, you don't. I'm going to get it because we said, no, you don't, I can't, I want, I need, I can't, I don't, I hate it, don't, and then you go, well, I choose. It's going, thud. That's why the oils are so important. That's why nutrition is so important. That's where living foods are so important. She'd already done all that. So I just came along and said, say I can and I am. That's the reversal of I've got to and I can't. I can and I am. And when she could feel the meaning in each word deeply enough, her body said, stuff out of here. because she reversed the curse. She walked new. Let the weak man say, I am strong. So the reason I'm giving you this is how many like the idea of becoming automatic conscious? I mean, this is so helpful. So, I mean, like I would, like for Charnel, she would have to, the book wasn't written back then. It wasn't even thought of back then. It wasn't in the work, so to speak. Everything in the book I've used for decades. I didn't look anything up. It's been a fact for me. All that was a fact, you know, even though I applied it to myself after I wrote the book. Hello. All right. So now, do you get a sense of I was alive in, believed, I'm alive in, say these. I didn't do it so that I didn't even know what she had going on. I just knew if you've got two, I don't want to be here. I can and I am is the reversal. And normally I would say, where is it about? Da, da, da. And so it's a female reproductive side. I can create, I can, whatever. I'd rather not go too much about her victory. She already did it. I'm going to get that. So do you get, all right, if I was the one that understood her body language, she did not understand it. She was trained enough to be good at it. So for me, the reason I'm doing 3 hours, 3 hours, and 3 hours coming up on Saturdays is to make sure people take that whole book and we're going to set it aside. I'm going to show you conversational sacred body language translation, which is used 95% of the time. Now, many of you may, I have my little toe on the top right next to my toenail on the inside medial of my foot. Some people have that. I can answer that question. But generally, how many are going, I've got an itch here, and especially while you're talking. So the static state, how many know the static state? And again, if somebody stays long enough in the last Saturday, is Life Upgrade Coaching, where the moment I ask a question or you ask a question, I'm doing it now. Got it? My nose, that was real. It's I can something. But the moment we ask, the body will give signals, usually before the person speaks. Now, why is that so cool? Because that's our spirit going, yo. And how many have not ever even had a clue that you were telling the truth to your world? Anyone? How many go, basically, yeah. The concept, I'm being almost an actor right now. I'm practicing him. If you know who it is, great. If you don't, I will keep working on it. All right. So now do you get everyone here? You might have something up. It's up because it's over. My shoulder was up. The injury happened 25 years ago at an airport, walking into the bathroom. The person didn't put the cone up. I had to pee, walk into the stall. It's wet. I'm sliding. I go underneath the toilet hanging from the wall. I grab the rails and I'm holding myself off the floor, which is wet. And I pull my shoulder out. I was not happy at that person. He was otherly able, and I was raging anger. So my shoulder went, you're going to pay for this. Because I could have forgiven him. I mean, do you get it? So why did it fire off now? Range of motion been an issue? Yeah. Because it was time for me to let myself have divine love from the feminine side of life. It was knocking, yo, Bob, it's time. What? It's time. What? It's time. But I didn't, with all my understanding, I just thought my shoulder, I'm not going to get an operation. I'm not going to, I don't want to get, somebody that used to do stuff for us had his shoulder and it was like it didn't work. No, I'm not going to do that. Well, do you get, wait a minute. All I had to do was shift from allopathic, this for that. That's what compliance is all about. That's what, for me, I've been in the nutrition field as herbologist and all the other stuff. And I mean, if I went, this is way back when I was 21, if I went to, from Kalamazoo, Michigan, they asked me to come and do a class in somewhere in Chicago. And, Gary, Indiana, that's where it was, in Gary, Indiana. And they said, you got to be careful. Because if you say orange juice is good for somebody, they will arrest you for practicing medicine without the license. I mean, that was freaky for me. I'm like, wow. And that was what was going on back then. Yeah. That was practicing medicine without the license. So I would say if some woman had some female stuff going on, I would say, well, I like this female stuff for my menstruation because I would have to say what I use when I'm having cramping is I'm using cramp bark. And I mean, how else are you gonna, I can't say, well, I've heard of other, no, I have to say, I drink orange juice because it makes me feel good, so to speak. So now do you get, oh, okay. So I've been watching that compliant because I finally realized allopathic remedial agents do not heal. So I'm not trying to fake anybody out. They restore faith. And then I thought, well, the remedial agent, whatever it is, heals. Nope. Well, faith heals. Nope. Come on, how many thought faith heals? Nope. No. Go read it. Scripture, not religion. Quantum physics in scripture, which is all scripture is quantum physics, besides true. You can use it any way you choose. I'm just saying that's the way I approach it. It's open architecture that way versus right, wrong stuff. So do you get, all right, and the piece of this I'm choosing to give you is, all right, if I am going to shift from allopathic to restorative, herbs restore faith, good. Oils restore faith, good. Faith heals, no. Faith without scripture, without works is death. So to me, what that means, I had it, the individual faith, got it, without action. Now again, so maybe all the blessings, we got the faith, we didn't act on it. We were waiting to see it. I walk by faith, not by needing to see it, not by sight. Now do you get, when I woke up, the body language, the body's going, this is that, you get to do that, choose that. These are the blessings you have yet to agree to. That's why it can be so profound so quickly. And 90% for me of all body language is what I call conversational body language of simply making a new choice. Charnel had this stuff going on. She did everything right. She had not yet at that point claimed, let the weak man say, I am strong. She was doing everything for the weak man. What this is about is, and reverse the curse, upgrade. Let our greatest weakness shall be our greatest strength. How many been running from weaknesses? No, I'm fine. I'm strong. Let the weak man admits, I feel weak. Know the truth, it sets you free. We admit the truth and then we reverse it, upgrade it, decree a thing and it shall be established unto you. By your words, you shall be justified. By your words, you shall be condemned. So how many are getting, so that for me, that means whatever you say, you get. The universe is going, you say it, you get it. I don't know. Oxygen leaves brain. Cancer clear. I choose to know oxygen starts to return to brain. You don't love me. Love diminishes unless the individual is anointed. Or it still could be you don't love me. Even though you're loving me, I ain't letting you in. Cancer clear. So now what we're doing in the Alive with Us, Alive with Us, very alive, thank you very much, is we're finding what's already here. We're already doing it. Nobody has to really learn body language. How many are without even knowing? How many know that's innate intelligence going, hello, I got that. And if you weren't noticing, how many get that? If you were not noticing and somebody's trained, they'll notice for you. Train your kids and they'll tell you, you just said, no, mom or dad. How many get that? No, you can't have pizza tonight. You said yes. You said yes. You nodded. Well, all right. You can have pizza. Whatever. Got it? I'll share with you. Way back, I had kidney stones. Oh, this is in the 90s. I had a kidney stone. It was, anyways, not fun. So I finally said, something release. I let go with these. Went in the bathroom, and something the size of my fingernail and my little finger popped out of my peer with no blood. and I picked it out of the urinal because I was going to wear it as a gem. No, and I picked out it, and when I pulled my fingers apart, my fingers, it was the oxalate, whatever, they were so sharp that my fingers were bleeding in 2 or 3 spots on either one. That's how sharp it was. It didn't, my apparatus didn't bleed. I'm going to get that. I forgive, and I, whatever it was. So, I mean, that's important. How many know kidney, I forgive, partnership, kidney, partnership, forgiveness, knees, physical knees, kids' knees, kidneys, knees, partnership, and forgiveness. So you get all of these are experiential with myself and many, many others. So once we've got this book, My Word Made Flesh, we're going to come out with a new version because of certain things going on. And I believe we're going to make it even easier to use. How many like the idea of easier? I mean, for me, I'm going, yeah, well, let's just make, and that's what the next 3 Saturdays are about. That's why when you go through the book and we've got the quick reference, like the questions I asked 90, maybe always. The book is there if I need to deep dive. I don't need to deep dive because I've got that person right there. I ask them a question. If not, I ask another question. They go, oh, and I go, and they walk new. You can sit in front of a mirror. You go, are you committed? No. Okay. You can just do the yes, no thing. Even now, how many going, I'm going to sit in front of the mirror and ask myself some questions. And how many know when you're going like that, it's not complete no, there's a no in there. And how many know when you ask a question, you go, I forgot what I asked myself. Maybe it's unconsciousness. And if you go, then maybe that's apathy or yawn. It was perfect time, Charles, that was awesome. Or I, that's grief, joy, joy. They, that's fear, for courage, faith, trust, confidence, returning. You, if you go 5 times, that's anger. Prick, you did it to me. How many go, oh my gosh, all these repeating patterns, you can begin to wake up to all this stuff. And then we go, okay, anger, I love. How many know? How many have had hidden feelings that you'd rather not know about? They're ever active. I love that. That was Sherry's going, hello. My neck knows. Anyone? No, sorry, that's the Italian version of. And then this is remember about it. Forget about it. Remember about it. Forget about it. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. And to me, this hilarious. Anyone else, even though it's like in the beginning, oh my God, pretty soon it's like, come on, we start having fun. And most people will go, I mean, literally, we're driving down the highway. I'm on tour with Jeff Agostinelli. And we're talking about pulling off to get fuel or food or whatever. We stopped saying we're going to stop and get gas. Because we did. And it would travel with us because of the food we ate. So we stopped and get fuel. I thought I'd share that. It's very helpful for those that are traveling. So Jeff would go, yeah. And then all of a sudden he touches his left knee while he's saying this. And pretty soon he's going, oh, all right, female figure. So we passed the next 19 exits because he was in the middle. And then because the whole world is unfolding. And it's the world of what's been hidden being brought to what's true and honest and aware, as long as we meet it with love. So as long as we touch, I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay, I feel. There's 5 things renegotiate us back in. Step 1, take the charge off. Step 2, use body language. I think it's step 2 to put it into, I was like, oh, where's my little cheat sheet? To put it in words with body language. This is so helpful. Bob, I got this going on. Do you have this going on? When did it start? Oh, 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, did you got with about a male figure, They go, yeah. Now they know the causation, who's in play. Anyone? Who's in play? What's going on? Their role. Go ahead, Cynthia.
Another way to practice is after the sacred body language class, where we learn how to ask the questions, go back and watch Vote Victory. That's number 1. Go back and watch our videos that you've been in or that other people have been in recordings, and pause it. formulate a question, see somebody move, vote their victory, and formulate a question and go back and do that. What is it you choose to hear, Bob? Those types of things. But it's a great way to practice. And I can, I will, I can, I will. Pause it, take a minute, and oh, what question will I ask this person if I see this type thing? I
And
love
then have
practicing
another
that way.
video on you while you've got it paused, because you'll be knowing, and you'll be
Yes.
cool. And I love that. How many, and again, those that train with me or do BioOptic, all the other things, we've got so many videos you can study there. Anyway, you can get them. They're very realistic, reasonable. Now, why? It's time to wake up our planet. How many get, this is what's, love is knocking on our door. Peace is knocking on our door, yes or no? How many is knocking? And so, cool. We have 5 minutes. Let's do questions, comments, whatever. Mic yourself, wave. I got chatty today. Who would guess? Go ahead, Denise.
So what I'm hearing you say is if we sign up for these classes, we will get this.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll
And
become,
well, there's way more to train to be masterful. But I'll put it this way: you become ultra dangerous to the illusion. And is that true, Cynthia? You did a 1-day SBLT, and did you learn a
Yes.
lot?
Yes.
And
Enough
so
to be dangerous to my illusion and
Yep.
my husband's as well. Coach back to coaching without permission.
Yeah. So Denise, yes. So if you can imagine 3 hours where I'm not doing a lot of coaching with people, I'm going this, do, and then I review, like head is thinking, knowing, remembering. Torso is doing, I call it doing, and then hips is moving. And so I begin to go back over. I build again, then I build more, and then I build more, and then I build more. The hands, the fingers, will, direction, God-given strengths or driving, God-given strengths, help, H-E-L-P, and beauty, sex, desires, and money. So if a person touches with a particular finger, it's a different thing. Then the tip of the finger, beginning to be aware, the first flange taking in, second flange is deepening, and you can do all that now. Third flange, you're taking in deeper, and then into the palm, you're brought it to your soul, the soul of your hand. How many get it? So if you're sitting there holding a finger, how many know that ought to tell you something? And you can find that out. These are all, I go through the basics of whatever we're going to be using on a daily basis. So does that help?
yes, it helps. See, I don't even know how to word this, but
Oh, don't
the
word it right.
past-
Just word it where,
in
just
the
let it out.
past, my issue has been retaining information.
Oh, that's because you took it in
Comprehension
mentally.
and-
Hold on, I can help you. Anyone if you're going to be with me, you're not going to retain. That's a terrible, no judgment to you. It's a terrible way to learn. Retain inner formation. No, experience is the only thing we're going to get. And yes, you'll be able to have more structure for it. It's systematic. So when we teach our children, I'm all about this big time. You know, right now, most education, I'm not saying all, but most education is they give kids information and they test them right away. And the kids that are visual and have retained memory and visual and, you know, whatever, they get A's. And I just saw this last night. The kids that get A's work for the kids that got B's, and the kids that got B's work for the kids that got C's, and the kids that got C's are led by the kids that got D's, and the kids that didn't go to school at all and left own it all. Now, why is that? Because mental information is not experience. So this is all, I'm experiential. Right now, I'm showing how it works, finding out who's going to give it. And your heart already knows the truth. Yes or no, Denise?
Yes.
And so what did you have to tell me, because that would be sales, not doing that. Whatever your heart said. Now watch this, everybody. How many saw that? So she took her tongue into the outside, I believe, of your teeth. And I'm not laughing at it. I'm just showing. So her tongue to express goes and accesses lower jaw's feeling, upper jaw's thinking, and right at the teeth expression. So your tongue went, How many like to know? That's normal. How many walk around with, in a normal conversation. And hello, are you talking to me? Hello, are you talking? So, voter victory, kids. Everything you did is not wrong. Everything you did was you can access your own feeling in your expression. Yes or no?
Yes.
And then you can be heard by the male side of life, rational male. Yes or no?
Yes.
And when we saw the eyebrows go up, the eyebrows lifted. We've just hit a home run. Houston, we've made contact, or wherever you live. So now, do you get, and did your dad believe in your genius?
Doubt it.
Well, how many saw her go? How many saw her? So she did the codependent sigh. So what now, when you speak from your experience, what happens for your father?
Wait, say that again.
Well, watch that. Now, this is the point of, hold on. You talking to me? I missed it. Did you? What are you talking to me? And that's when the question, hold on, not wrong. I'm voting your victory, honey. I asked you a question that the thought form goes. So voter victory. This is where Denise just gave 3 signals, let's say, with a couple questions. How many heard her? No, she just went, hold on. She went, How many heard that? That's her me self coming online, emotional body. So is your dad on the planet?
No.
So in wherever he is in all the heavenly realms, what is he finally saying to you now that you express yourself from your experience? That confirms your heart's desire.
He's proud of me.
Yeah. Quote him. Quote him, not just he's proud. Quote him. Keep breathing, honey. It'll help. How many are you holding your breath for her? Anyone? How many? It doesn't help. Let's breathe for her. Quote him. What's he saying to you that confirms your heart's desire?
I actually saw him, him
good.
and my mom both in heaven with me and cheering me on, and just,
And now-
recently.
Good. And now just say, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Let it in, because and wherever he is, it lights him up even more.
Yeah.
And can you, let it be. Say it again.
Yes.
hear
I'm
it.
proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Yep. And all that was tongue over here. How many of you are going, I should know that stuff. So come on, how many got it? How many felt deeply as Denise was coming online with feeling? She's so smart. Many of you will go through the entire class like this. Hi, everyone. I'm here. When I did National Convention at Young Living way back when there was only 1,200 people, which is in the 1800s, is what I say. I just met Gary. He was bawling. Marcella von Harding was bawling. I was crying. We're all crying. I mean, I'm bawling. So I walked out. I went and put these under my, let's just say it was very funny.
Yeah.
And how many know Sherry's doing it? How many know we're all moving upscale as we do this stuff? That's what's so sacred. If you're not one, you're not mine. So Denise, you already listen to your heart. Your heart will tell you. And your body said it's so cool that you don't have to do it. I retain. How many? Was this a bladder issue? What? Do I have incontinence about my genius? What continent? Or what are you talking? I live on whatever continent I live. It's no big deal. So I know I'm messing a little bit, but how many love the idea that all your body language said is you just experience it and speak from your experience, not to feed somebody else's intellect. And my dad is proud of me. My mother and my dad both are proud of me in heaven. And right now they're doing the heavenly happy camper family dance.
Yeah.
I make up. And you did that, yes or no? And how do you know emotion turned into motion? Yes.
Yes.
And was it subtle?
It didn't seem subtle to me.
Then say no. It was profound.
No, it was profound.
Awesome, dear. Awesome. You're awesome. Thank you. And notice how many can see countenance change. Yes. How many know we light up? That's where before and after. Look at Denise is going, just don't raise your, no, just kidding. Good job, girl. All right. We're at 10:04. We've got another one of these things coming up for our team. All of you come join us. information is there that it's been shared. Thank you very much, Cynthia, for sharing that. We brought the price way reasonable because I just said, yes, let's do it. So go look at it. It's way huge. When you look at it, you're going, oh, that's our huge. Yeah, why? I'd much rather share with a bunch of people that I love and can make a difference. And how many have children? God, so can you imagine just loving them and understanding what they're saying without necessarily having to coach them? Once they learn, they will be coaching you. I'm just letting you know that's going to happen no matter what. So you might as well get good at it so you can help each other out. Awesome. Thank you all. I'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you.